Rome in ancient Greece as an event that we document in history called Lupercalia. Lupercalia was a giant pedophile sacrifice event. That's just what it was, cut and dry. Every February 14th, they would sacrifice children to their demonic deities that they believed in, and it's also associated with pedophilia. As I stated before, eros is the etymological root of the word erotic or eroticism, which is sexual love. Eros is also a little boy deity in ancient Greece who was considered the national symbol of sexual attraction because they was like the little boys. Eros' alleged mother is Aphrodite, who's a man, a transgender. And what y'all need to know is that only difference between Greece and Rome is some of the names of the deities, but they share the exact same mythology. So Eros in Greece would be called Cupid in Rome. Aphrodite in Greece would be called Venus in Rome. But y'all gotta remember, these are the same people. So now that you know that, Eros and Aphrodite actually comes from the Babylonian story of Ishtar and Tammuz. Now, Tammuz is Nimrod and Ishtar is Esther, aka Semiramis. And so the story of Nimrod and Esther or Semiramis goes that Nimrod was a mighty hunter who used his bow and arrow on his own mother to make her fall in love with him. And, he had sex with his own mother. He got her pregnant. And that was the first origins of the Immaculate Conception, because he didn't want to tell his army that he was having sex with his mother. And so Nimrod and Esther, aka Easter, you celebrate Easter, became Eros and Aphrodite. Eros and Aphrodite became Cupid and Venus, and Cupid and Venus became Virgin Mary and baby Jesus. And so the reason I'm bringing this up is because Valentine's Day is a hybrid holiday combined of symbolic to Lupercalia, as well as the celebration of Cupid and Venus, aka Nimrod, and Semiramis, aka Esther. And so this is why Cupid has the bow and arrow to symbolize Nimrod, who was a mighty hunter who used the bow and arrow on his own mother. And then what they don't tell you about Cupid is Cupid had two arrows. He had the golden tipped arrows, which was to make you fall in love, and then the blunt tipped arrows, which was to make you fall out of love. And if you read the story of Cupid, he was basically like a mischievous demon. He was actually considered a demon because Nimrod is considered the king of demons. And what Cupid would do was, for his own diabolical satisfaction, he would ruin people's relationships. So he might see you in a 10-year marriage or a 10-year relationship and come make you fall in love with your brother. And now you in incest. You know what I'm saying? Or this, that, and third. And if you look at the paintings of Cupid, whenever he's finna use the blunt tip arrow, he has the blindfolds on. And so Cupid, in ancient Greece and Rome, was used as an excuse for sexual deviancy. So a man might marry his cousin or marry his sister, and they say love is blind. And this is where that saying comes from, love is blind, because Cupid got the blindfolds on. So you might, fall in love with your mama and get your mama pregnant, and people say love is blind. You love who you love. You know what I'm saying? And you hear people saying that today. You can't control who you love. You can fall in love with another man, man. Love is love. Now, love ain't blind. Love can see. Why animals don't just fall in love blindly. And so Cupid is a emotionally chaotic demonic entity that we celebrate. And as far as the Valentine's letters, those come from Saint Valentine, who was persecuted by the Roman government, I believe during the 5th century, because what happened was the emperor at the time, he didn't allow men to marry women because he believed that if men were in love and they were a part of the military, that they would fight harder since their lovers was on the battlefield. And so what Valentine was doing was secretly allowing men to be with women. And the Roman government found out, and they sentenced him to death. And before he died, he wrote a love letter to the woman that he loved, and he started that letter off as, "Your dear Valentine." So when you in school and you got the kids writing Valentine letters, you actually writing death notes. When you're celebrating Cupid, you're celebrating sexual deviancy, immorality, and pedophilia, because Cupid is a pedophile deity as well as an emotional deviant deity. The hearts are symbolic to I don't know if I'm saying it right, Baal or Baal, but y'all know I'm talking about Baal. Baal, aka Moloch, is another rendition of Lucifer, aka Satan. And when you look up the ancient Chaldean or Babylonian definition of Baal or Baal, it means sacred heart. And you always see Jesus posing with that heart. And so this is supposed to be like the heart of Lucifer. And you also see certain pictures of Satan with that heart. And so the Valentine's Day heart is symbolic to Baal by definition, who's another form of Satan. And so, you know, you running around with the hearts on Valentine's Day representing Satan. And then a heart also looks like a butt, an anus. And so Valentine's Day is a very demonic holiday. It's a very pedophilic holiday. It's a very satanic holiday. It's a very sexually deviant holiday. And it also, you know, you write, the roses for Valentine's Day are symbolic to death. Because when somebody dies, you give them roses. And so they remix it to make it seem like it's for love, but it's really for death. So you write a Valentine's Day card, aka a death letter, and then you give somebody roses, symbolizing that you just spiritually died. And so all of these holidays are rituals. I don't break them down because I'm bitter and I don't want people to be happy during the holiday season. I want people to know that if we want something to celebrate, we can celebrate. We can make something up. They made something up. We can make something up. So even if you don't want to celebrate in the correct honor of our ancestors, if we want to start fresh, we can do that too. But we need to know that what we are doing now, that's not it. And you are being spiritually hypocritical because you are partaking every day and every month in these different holiday celebrations and traditions that were not only made by people that slaughtered your ancestors, but are representative to the exact spiritual deities that you claim not to subscribe to, Lucifer being one of them.